Hello, friends. Welcome to the Digital Manufacturing Dialogue, which is a new series from ETManufacturing, and we'll be discussing the various facets of digital manufacturing, the nitty-gritties of digital manufacturing process with industry leaders as well as the digital manufacturing experts in our show. So our guest today is Mr. Magnus Malmström, who is the Chief Technology Officer in Sandvik Manufacturing Solutions, who is based in Sweden. So Magnus, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Magnus would like to start, as you are aware, today the digital transformation in manufacturing is it's no longer just about automation. It's more about intelligence. So how do you see the role of digital technologies evolving from enablers to decision makers in the factory of the future?
From our perspective, where we are and what we see, and especially then when it comes to operations around the machine or mesh, so like CAM, which is computer-aided manufacturing, or regarding metrology, where you inspect the component to produce, etc. And then tie that to a larger ecosystem. What we see is that through Industry 4.0 and a lot of automation attempts, still a lot of the customer base are not so advanced. They may have quite automated cell or a few cells or something similar, often with a mix of robots and machines. But in the back end and the, let's say, the flow with the digital thread and the data is not that advanced. So there's a big interest to push for let's say more seamless experience. What we then view is that it has a big possibility with AI and generative AI in particular to simplify manufacturing, because it is a lack of standards. There is a lot of vendors, technology, etc. So it's not that easy to automate existing software. But with AI, and that's inbuilt and infused into the software, it opens up a completely new landscape.
But there is a lot of buzz around the autonomous and sustainable manufacturing today, right? So what, in your view, are the foundational pillars which are needed to make this vision a reality, both from the technology point of view as well as the culture?
Yeah, I think for autonomous manufacturing is the dream. That is the, let's say, where we hope to deliver, both from our point of view, but also from a customer point of view. But unfortunately, there are still time to go, and there are many steps towards that. You can see some light out factories in China or in similar environment, but still, if you look at the World Economic Forum, there's very few that is on that level. So there is a big dream, and we work together with ecosystem to deliver that. So that will be a stepwise journey, and 80% of our customers want to be closer to that dream within the next 5 years. I think that's a challenging objective, to be honest, but that's where they want to go. And that's one interesting fact. Then on sustainability and sustainable manufacturing, it's a growing need to reduce energy consumption, have a more green feeling about manufacturing, produce it in a smarter way, maybe choices as well, what to produce with what material or what time, depending on various factors that is good for this for the environment. And especially here in Europe, that has been a big ambition the last years, and it's just continue. Then on a global basis, it can depend a little where it is, but still we believe that's important. So when you also start to have more IoT connectivity, machine connectivity, you also have a tendency to work more with sustainable manufacturing, because then you can take those decisions.
But as you mentioned, sustainability has been the very important factor in the whole of the world and also in Europe. So how do you balance that sustainability with the adoption of this advanced technology so as to get the required results and ensure the ROI?
I think what we have done a quite large study interviewing a lot of our customers with Ernst & Young, in collaboration with Ernst & Young, and there you kind of need to come to a certain digital maturity before you have data that you can work on for the sustainable manufacturing part. So it goes a lot hand to hand, and if you don't have data, it's also hard to judge or guide into the sustainable journey. So I think digital transformation and sustainable manufacturing goes hand in hand. If that, yeah.
As you notice, that AI adoption has been really fast all over the world. Like
Mm,
if you see when automation came in, it took little time to get adopted, but AI,
mm,
in terms of AI, it's very fast in terms of adoption.
yes,
So
yes.
AI in manufacturing is which is progressing very rapidly, but currently that also faces the real world integration challenges. So,
Mm.
what do you see as the biggest hurdles which organizations are facing when trying to scale AI in their manufacturing operations?
We have launched several, let's say, what we call co-pilots. So, for instance, one of our brands is called Sigma Nest. They are operating in the sheet metal area. So they have a co-pilot launched with it, and we see huge, let's say, almost like a ticket to play in that regard, that you need to have these kind of solutions. But we also see that younger people have a tendency to use this technology more. Then we believe that there is a level of, let's say, maturity in the technology need to come, because you can create sometimes a hallucination or something that is not perfect. And we work with that fine tuning all the time. And one of the strengths with companies like Sandvik or similar companies that is that we can provide trusted information based on our experience since years in manufacturing. And the more we add that, the more, let's say, context knowledge we provide to the users, the more relevant it will be. Because if you will compare like a consumer AI type of solution like Google or ChatGPT, the information is not reliable. And in manufacturing, you really need reliable and trusted information. So otherwise, you can easily do error or actually very bad errors, and the machine can cost several million euros. So it can have a large effect. So we as a company, together with other companies, the more reliable information we provide and train the models with, the better result, basically, and also better uptake of users. But in general, I would say that interest is super high in this type of technology.
So, as a technology leader, how do you ensure the balance between the deep tech development and also the commercial viability when innovating the new digital solutions for manufacturing?
I think it's a very good question. I mean, first of all, we are a global company, so we have regional differences in needs and behaviors, etc. Then you have some companies that is in the forefront that really wants to deliver on the latest technology and use that. And then you have people that maybe are watching and looking, well, and learning from others. And some people may not even understand that this type of technology is aware. So we need to learn from the market, but we also need to educate. And we are part of many education programs, even in India, in a collaboration with the different regions and Tata. We educate the thousands of people every month in new manufacturing techniques. So when they then come out to the business and start working, they will be trained and aware of new technology. So that's one part, of course. Then we host various end user forums or communities. For instance, today there is one in Germany with a brand of us called Vericut, and then we try to, let's say, share with them what you can use the latest technology that we expose to them, etc. But this is it's a very important topic. It's very, let's say, important to find ways to come out in the world with the latest information. But it's a lot of noise. There's a lot of brands. There's a lot of companies. A lot of technology. So it's a challenging one, but still important. Yeah.
So, interoperability and open ecosystems,
Mm,
these are often cited as very critical to the digital success in manufacturing.
mm,
So, how important is collective intelligence and,
mm,
for example, say data sharing in
mm.
building more agile and connected factories today?
I think it's super critical. We don't have in manufacturing like sometimes in office environment where you maybe everybody has Office 365 or Google Docs or whatever. There is many different vendors. There's many different hardware technologies. So, for instance, for myself, last week I was in PTC's HQ in Boston to discuss interoperability between PTC type of products like PLM, CAD, CAM, etc. And that's something we need to help our customers with. We as vendors need to work together more to create a more seamless experience to help our end users to succeed. So it's super important with that type of collaboration to help the manufacturing industry, and not only to automate, but also to simplify and bring more data across the products. Because unfortunately today, many of the, let's say, applications or software products are siloed. They are not so integrated. And that's something we work hard on. So open ecosystem is a strength, is a must, and that's something Sandvik is see as a crucial enabler. And when it comes to collective intelligence, we can see it from different angles. One is that we in Sandvik and the different product teams, sales team collaborate and learn and share from each other. Then we act more collectively and can act faster to the market. But if you also include the customers and then other partners into that, then you become a larger ecosystem that you can collectively learn and also adjust to. So it's super important, I feel, with that type of mindset. There are some companies that believe in very closed ecosystem. I think it's a challenging environment in manufacturing to be like that. So I think it's a wise strategy from Sandvik to embrace openness and an open ecosystem.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be challenging for manufacturers and especially those who MSMEs, they
Yes.
don't have very great access to new technologies and as well as the investment. See, digital twins and this real-time data as well as the predictive maintenance, which is very, very important for any manufacturing industry. So these are shaping this smarter operations. So which emerging digital manufacturing technologies do you believe they can be truly transformative in the next 5 years?
Mm. I think that Sandvik's position, I mean, we are the world leader in cutting tools. And with that, it comes a lot of knowledge when it comes to machining knowledge, material knowledge, how to use the tools in the right way or the most optimal way. That is a unique aspect of manufacturing, especially in metal manufacturing, that I think we will see a lot of value from the next 5 years. And that's also one of the reasons we collaborate with some of these larger players as well, like PTC or Siemens or whatever, to bring that to our customers so they easily can consume it. And unfortunately, a lot of the very competent and people will retire in the next years that knows this by heart, and they maybe can just listen to the machine and understand what to do. So we will have a younger community that expect more digital support and guidance, and as you said earlier in this conversation, more smarter and using AI. So I think that is an area that, first of all, Sandvik can provide a lot of uniqueness in the market, but also it is expected because in general, it is the, let's say, geometry, the machining information, the tooling information, and the material information that basically create a tool path that drives the machine and to cut the metal. So that area I think will be super important. And then we can come into digital twin, because then you can see a tool like a digital twin is part of the digital twin ecosystem. There are, of course, humanoid robots will come in the next 5 years. We will see AI exploding in manufacturing. There will be much more automation. But in the essence, if you don't have reliable information in the back end and you have the knowledge between the material, the tool, and the machine, it is very hard to drive automation or smarter manufacturing as well. So I think that will be a transformative technology. And there we have global collaboration. And for instance, our factories in India plays a big role. And we have started an innovation center in Pune. So a lot of R&D goes into this area, and I think it's a very exciting area for the next years.
as you rightly mentioned, like AI is exploding in the manufacturing industry in a very big way, and you need to have the required knowledge for that. So I feel every industry or every manufacturing company should have a person like you in their operation to get the most of the new technologies.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So, a leadership in the technology industry today that requires adaptability across the geographies, industries, and innovation cycles.
Mm.
So, what mindset shifts do you believe are necessary for manufacturing leaders to successfully navigate the digital disruption?
It's a very good question. I mean, I think we need to be, let's say, more curious. We need to have more curiosity. We need to look. It has manufacturing has a tendency of being a little conservative, and it's a stepwise journey, and with all the rights of let's say safety and the manufacturing as it is today, and it's a reliable process maybe to produce something, but the shift next 5 years will go faster than the previous 5 years. So we need to be very curious. We need to challenge ourselves. We need to test new ideas, and sometimes give it up very quickly if it doesn't are correct. But we need to play more, test more, and that is what the software industry many times have done. But here in manufacturing, we sometimes don't have that tendency, especially in leadership, because maybe you look at the EBITDA or the profit and loss every day, and that's more important. But if we don't overcome these challenges and play with the technology in a new way, and especially on AI, then we will also not learn how to use it, and then we will unfortunately lose in the long run.
So, coming to your company, Sandvik's mission to foster an open manufacturing ecosystem through the partnerships and innovation is very ambitious and future forward. So, can you share how collaborations with the organizations like EY and Microsoft they're helping Sandvik to accelerate this mission, and what kind of benefits this brings to your customers on the ground?
First of all, I mean, Microsoft is an important partner for us, but to some degree we could work with others as well. But they have been, let's say, culturally a good partner in the way of meeting our expectations, support us in the journey in a nice way. That means also that when we deploy something in the Microsoft environment, we also know that a lot of our customers use Microsoft environment. So in that collaboration, of course, we all win of it. The customer wins on it, we win, Microsoft win it. But when it comes to innovation, we wouldn't collaborate with them as much if they were not investing so much in our innovation. So I think it's a very good example of a partnership. But we partner with a lot of different companies, both from the software side or from different sizes. I think that's a mindset that's important in today's world. And we also invest and collaborate with startups as well. So there is a multi-phased approach when it comes to that. When it comes to what you have seen maybe about Sandvik and us young, then it's more sometimes to validate that are we on the right track? Do some surveys, deep interviews, or understanding like a voice of customers, because we have around 100,000 customers, so it's a lot of volume as well, and so we have different partners for different things, and now we have a new strategy for the next 5 years, which we building very hard on and want to deliver on. And some of these partnerships are super important for us to execute on this strategy.
You mentioned about you have around 100,000 customers all over the world, right? So these are like for the Sandvik Group or the Sandvik company?
You can say half the Sandvik is in mining and half the Sandvik is in manufacturing. And where we are in the half of the manufacturing, we have around 100,000 customers globally of all sizes. It is the largest companies in the world, and it's also some of the smallest companies in the world.
And how is your partnership with EY? What exactly is the collaboration?
We have used them to do some customer analysis, and they have a good reach, and they can, let's say, help us in collaboration to analyze, to make the right analysis for what we need to do in the next steps, and messaging and understanding the customer issues. I mean, just one example. One of the largest issues we see today is that there needs to be an improved for the CAM software. It needs to be an improved optimization, a simulation and optimization with a much more seamless experience, and then we can collaborate with companies like us. Yeah, it doesn't need to be them, but as an example, and then we can look into the market in a good way, do deep dive interviews, etc., better understand the business reasons for certain things. But then also it gives a good conclusion. And then, as an example, that was one. And then we develop more towards that direction, as an example.
And you must be having some partnerships with the machine tool companies as well, right?
Absolutely, all of them.
Okay, right. So from tool management to metrology and process planning, Sandvik has been integrating multiple digital threads. So how is AI being embedded across these verticals to finally drive the smarter and more autonomous manufacturing workflows? And what kind of impact are you seeing so far?
We have taken a choice because, first of all, Sandvik is a decentralized organization, so each business unit have a big accountability and dependency. But in order to accelerate AI adoption, we built a common system behind, and then each BU used that, and that's what we call the Copilot in that product. So Sigma-S Copilot, Mastcam Copilot, or Vericat Copilot, etc., etc. So that's an approach we're taking now. So each brand takes it out to market. Then, because we're using the same type of underlying system, it will be quite easy for us to start to talk over the products or with the products across to the same Copilot. So that is the approach we have taken. There is no right and wrong, but that's how we are taking. Now, what happens is also we have agent technology coming. We are playing with that, and most likely within the next years, we will start to see that some of this Copilot can also act as agents, and then one agent can talk either with other agents within Sandvik or externally, like a PLM or CAD agent or whatever example. That is a technology that's emerging. Then, having said that, what is then the value? So when you are in a Copilot scenario, you actually have a conversation. So we started off by sharing our knowledge. So it's more like a 24/7 customer support kind of profile, which have helped a lot because we work in a multi-language environment. There are people from across the world that needs to have access very quickly. And going back to Ernst & Young, they in this study we made with them, interviewing a lot of customers, we come up with that 44% of all our customers want faster customer support or because they have a rapid issue. So we allow that to be supported with generative AI. Very good success. But then we also added the ability so you can start using natural language to steer or control the product. And that's something we launched very recently. So you can use voice to talk with the product. That we have been surprised how many customers of different size or capacity are interested in, because apparently there's a much easier way to work with the user experience opposed to a quite complex UI in a desktop form with it, which is enforced. So basically, we are reinventing user experience. And we have just seen the start of this, to be honest. There is a lot of interest. There's a lot of cool things to build. And we just need time and learn from each other, and we will see great changes in the world through this technology. But it's still early days, and the next years will show a lot of cool new technology being used by regular users. Yes.
Basically, this kind of software support which you provide to your customer as well as to your own operations in different countries. So how does that work? For example, if you say India, if there is a customer of Sandvik in India, so this software support is generated from Sweden or from India itself.
So we have first of all, the software can be used in any data center of, for instance, in this case, we're deploying it in Azure environment. So it can be in Azure India or Azure Europe. Then the AI technology that helps it to be a smart customer support, that's something that's available in all regions. And we can see using that data analytics, so we can see that there are users in India that use it regularly. Then when we then go to, let's say, if the user don't get enough support and it wants to talk with a human, then we have support in various regions for a global business. So you get routed to the right person. But actually, more and more customers only need to use this co-pilot in generative AI support or customer support. We actually have had some period now where there were vacation times, and we can't see a difference if there are humans in support or AI only support.
So you provide the dedicated training to your customers on this?
Yes, we can provide training. We have a global reseller structure, and also some customers we work direct with that we have a very, let's say, rigorous support and training environment with.
If you notice, many of these manufacturing organizations, and especially the MSMEs, which I mentioned earlier, they still are not equipped to adopt digital transformation fully. There are certain problems of data silos or lack of modern interfaces, and also skilled workforce, which is very important. So how is Sandvik supporting its customers in this situation on their digital transformation journey?
That's one of the biggest challenges overall in manufacturing, and it's a very good point from you. But it's our responsibility to simplify manufacturing, to make it easier. That the software or the AI or intelligence help to reduce the skill need. Also, that there is a lot of manual tasks, unfortunately, still in manufacturing, as you say, due to various siloed software, also data, lack of good data. But then if you provide more seamless, let's say, integration between products that is ready to use, and also better seamless experience, you can reduce those hurdles and reduce those barriers. And I think each large company like Sandvik take that very seriously and work towards that direction to simplify manufacturing. That's the best thing we can do. I met so many of these smaller size companies that expect this from the vendors as well. They hope it will happen sooner than later.
Yeah, I'm sure the things are changing very fast. Even MSMEs, they are getting access to new technologies, and more importantly, they are taking interest in adoption and as well as learning about these new technologies.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's it from my side. It was really interesting interaction, and I myself could learn a lot of things from a technocrat like you. You helped me understand a lot of new technicalities of the digital transformation, especially in the cutting tool industry. And I really look forward to interacting with you again on various aspects. Anytime if you are coming to India, I would be happy to meet you.
Okay, well, that sounds great. And I'm super pleased to have met you over this and talk with you and have this nice discussion. And I come to Pune quite often because we have a big innovation hub there with a great set of people and also production. So happy to meet you. Okay.
Sure. Thanks for coming on our show, and it was a pleasure interacting with you.